The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome back to yet another session of the evening webinar. Woohoo! I'm still on fire today. All right. Good evening, Ellen, Amiru, John, Kathy, Ming-En, Ping-Shen. Good evening. I think Amiru is new to the webinar. Welcome. Welcome. It's gonna be a long day today. Long day. Right, so let's wait 5 minutes, right, for the rest to join, right, and then of course after that, right, and we can kind of go through today's topic, right? Let's wait 5 minutes. All right, I tell you what, guys. Meanwhile, for those of you who are new, I think Ellen, Amiru, right, and Kathy, right? So for those of you who are new, what I want to do is kind of get to know you and see what is your experience in trading. Are you new to trading? Are you new to trading? How many years have you been trading? So I just want to kind of get a sense of experience, right, from my audience. Okay. So Ellen, Amiru, and Kathy, right? If you can just type it in the questions, right? What is your experience in trading, right? That will really help me to kind of have a gauge on on your experience. Okay. The rest of you, how are you guys doing? Hope you guys are doing great. I'm having an awesome day. Honestly, it just feels like every day, right? Every day is just like, I don't know, man, there's like something new, something exciting. I don't know about you guys, right? But I think every day we got to look forward to something that's new, something that, something that improve us as humans in general, right? It can be anything, right? I always have this rule, right? Is to get better every day. So good evening, everyone. Right, let's just wait 2 more minutes, right, for the rest to join. Okay. Meanwhile, I don't know why my back is hurting. I think the muscle is like super sore. As you guys know, I gym regularly. I think like almost every day. No, I gym about 5 days a week. So my back is really hurting. I could hardly get out and walk. So ouch. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Okay. Oh, Liana Rose. Good evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So we're just waiting for 1 minute, right, for the rest to join, right? And then of course we can start today's webinar, right? Awesome, awesome, awesome. Don't leave me behind. Okay, awesome. And I think yesterday was a good day, right? Yesterday was a good day because I'll show you why later. I'll show you why later. Okay, show you why later. Trading about half a year, not so profitable constantly. Okay, all right. So you have been trading for about half a year and you have not achieved consistent profitability. Okay, awesome. That's fine. That's fine. Everyone has to start somewhere. I'm doing fine, sir. I mean, don't call me sir. sounds weird. Okay, I think yeah, I think I'm not so much of a sir. Just treat me as a friend. Okay. Awesome. All right, so let's start this evening webinars. Welcome everyone. Welcome back to this evening webinar. Now, I just want to give a short introduction about myself. Okay, and because we have like a lot of new members, new attendees joining the evening webinar. So let's go ahead and kind of introduce myself now. So my name is Wei Xiang, right? I'm a professional forex trader, currently managing a fund size of over $30 million. Right? Of course, I didn't grow up. I didn't just trade $30 million, right? I started from like $1,000, and of course, I managed to grow, and of course, I get some investments in. Right? I'm currently also managing funds. Okay, so yeah, then so that's basically my story, right? I basically started like you guys, and right now, so I've been trading for quite a long time, and right now I'm just educating people, right? And basically, you guys can learn through my experience, and hopefully don't make the same mistakes that I do when I first started. Okay, so I had massive growth. Really, I think it's to the point where I think that I'm going too fast, and right now I'm just kind of slowing things down in terms of fund management side. Just focusing on trading right now. So yeah, this is I think yeah, and of course I'm focusing on other businesses as well. And I mean at age 25, it's not. I think I think I got to really slow down, right? So right now I'm just focusing a lot of my time on education. I'm also focusing a lot of my time on other businesses as well. Okay, so if you're interested in read my profile, here is that. And then of course I was featured on Yahoo Finance back in 2021 for being one of the top forex traders in Singapore. Okay, and of course I have an audited track record, and yeah, and like so an audited track record by Yahoo and also by XM. Okay, and of course, so this was about a trade that I have, achieving a 1:42 risk reward ratio test. Yes, Amiru, I can see your test. Okay, so this is pretty much about me. Yeah. So if you guys want to contact me, okay. Wait. I noticed that a lot of you guys have not been following my Instagram. So if you guys haven't been following my Instagram, this is my Instagram. Please give me a follow, right? Show some love, right? Check out the process section and the Q&A section, right? So go ahead right now, guys, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, go ahead, follow my Instagram. I'll send you guys the link, right? So this is the link to my Instagram. Okay, so this is the link to my Instagram. And then of course, this is the link to the link tree, right? So there's two ways that you guys can contact me, right? If you guys have any questions. Okay, so we have Instagram and Telegram, right? So there's two ways to contact me. Okay, right? Welcome, guys. Okay, awesome. So now that we've got that out of the way, all right. So the other thing that I want to go through is that XM is having a grand webinar, right? It's by this guy, Habib Akiki. All right, the date is on the 19th of September. Time is at 7:30 to 10 p.m. right at night, right? Local times, right? Singapore local time, right? So if you are, I don't know where you are in the world, but yeah, so this is the local time, okay? And then of course, instructor is by this guy, Habib Akiki, and of course, it's about technical indicators and how to combine, right, different technical indicators, okay? So if you guys are interested, you can sign up here. Let me just give you guys the link to sign up. Using this link, it will give you special powers. Okay, using this link, it will give you some special powers that you never thought you had. So let's go ahead and sign up right now. And then the other thing is that the XM is currently having a deposit promo. Okay, so if you deposit, please share the link. No worries. Yeah, so this one, all the links are there, right? My Instagram, contact me, some of the things like that is all, the links are all there. Okay, so the other one is that the National Day promo. Okay, so it's basically a deposit promotion. So if you deposit $500, right, you can get up to $500 in credits. Okay, so if you deposit $600, I'm so sorry, right? The cap is only the cap, right? It's only at $500. Okay, so if you guys are interested in the if you guys are interested in the National Day promo, right, do feel free to sign up here. And signing up will give you special powers as well. So let's go ahead and get all these special powers that we can, right? That's available to us. Awesome. Okay. Questions? Please share Telegram link again. Sure. So I'll share. I share with you this link. Okay, I share with you this link. From here, of course, you can have access to a lot of things, right? You can go to my Instagram and follow me on my Instagram, right? Follow me on my Instagram. You can also contact me on Telegram, right? So, guys, really, just follow me on my Instagram, right? There's like so much information, so much knowledge over there, right? You can check out the Q&A section, right? Sorry, the Q&A highlights. You can also check out the process highlights, right? Where I talk a lot about entrepreneurship, mindset, and how I grow to become a successful 25-year-old I am today, right? So it's going to be really helpful for you guys. Okay, so I think the rest is just some of the personal stuff, right? Like golf, XM collab, and giving back highlights. Okay, so it's going to be really interesting. And of course, if you want to check out my dog, it's there as well. Okay, so let's start this evening webinar. But before that, right, I want to quickly go through, right, the economic calendar. So let's start there. Okay, so economic calendar. Right, so in 17 minutes, we have durable good orders, right? Defense, except defense, right? Month on month, right? Durable good orders except transportation, right? And of course, we have some other initial jobless claims, right, for the month of August. Okay, so for the month of August, so the cutoff point is at the 19th of August. So I think the US dollar should move a little. Okay, should move a little. Out already. All right. Now, before I go through with the slides, let me just give you guys an update on the trades that we took. Right. So on AUD USD, we hit our stop loss. Unfortunately, I think stuff and things do happen like this. Right. Unfortunately, however, right, we have GBP AUD is currently running in profits. AUD CAD is also in profits. Right. AUD CAD is currently in profits right now. So what I want you guys to do is to set your stop loss at break even, right? So move your stop loss, right? So for those of you, I think most of you followed the trades, right? So for the two trades, right, GBP AUD and AUD CAD, right? What I want you guys to do right now is to move your stop loss to break even, right? Move your stop loss to break even, which means move your stop loss to 0.87600. Okay, can we all do that? Right now it's running at a 1-to-2 risk reward ratio, right? So if you're risking 2%, you should be 4% profit right now. If you're risking 1%, you should be 2% profit right now, right? So can everyone just move the stop loss, right, to break even, which is our entry point, right, at 0.87600. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. All right, good evening, James Wilkinson. Wow, that's a really unique name. Good evening. Thank you for welcome and thank you for joining us. Okay, right. How many of you guys are in this trade? Press type 1 if you're in this trade. AUD CAD. I followed GBP AUD yesterday. Nice, awesome. Yeah, you should be in profit. Yeah, you should be in profit. Right. So GBP AUD, right? What we want to do is also move our stop loss in profits, right? Currently price is currently floating at around, it made a high, sorry, yeah, it came up to a 1-to-2 risk reward ratio in profit. However, right now it's just floating at a 1-to-1.5 risk reward ratio. So what I want you guys to do is to, again, set our stop loss, move our stop loss to our entry. We call it SL at BE, right? Stop loss and break even, right? And set the stop loss for GBP AUD at 1.96200, making the trade risk free. Awesome. How awesome is that? Awesome. Cool. Right. Let's go. So look, one trade lose, two trades in profit. Right. So yeah, awesome. And of course, the risk reward ratio on GBP AUD, right, is 1-to-15. So if you're risking 1%, right, basically you get 15%. And of course, the risk reward ratio, right, on GBP CAD, right, is about 1-to-10, right, 1-to-10 risk reward ratio. So if you're risking 1%, right, your potential profits will be 10%, right? So 15% plus 10%, that will give you a really nice 25% on a 1% risk, right? If you're risking 2%, of course, it will be 50%, right? Times 2. Okay, so don't be bothered by small losses, right? To be honest, right? Small losses, I mean, it happens, right? We have to look at the bigger picture. Okay, now I'll go through the charts later, right? What we want to do is we want to go through the slides first, and then of course, if we have time, right, we'll do a more in-depth analysis, and we can look for trading opportunities together. How about that? Right? Everyone good? Cool? Let's go. Okay. So, market sentiment. Today we're going to talk about market sentiment. Now, how many of you remember what is market sentiment? Right? Yesterday I've covered a little bit about market sentiment. How many of you remember what is market sentiment about? Okay, so no, guys, listen. Right. So for those of you who know what market sentiment is about, can you briefly in one sentence tell me what market sentiment is about? What is market sentiment about? Let's go. in one sentence, preferably one sentence. I really don't want to really type too long. Okay. What is market sentiment about? What is market sentiment? Exactly. Awesome. You guys are on fire today, right? Okay, so market sentiment is basically how the market participants feel, right? Investors' risk sentiment, right? Yesterday we covered briefly, so today we're going to go in depth, right? So yesterday we talked about fundamental analysis. Today we're going to talk about market sentiment. Okay, let's go. So learning points, market sentiment, right? How fundamentals affect investors' risk sentiment, and of course we're going to talk about some of the risk on and risk off currencies, right? Namely the fear and greed currencies. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so now market sentiment is basically how is the market feeling, right? So you gauge the market, right? So you have doing a sentiment analysis is basically gauging, right, what the market is feeling, right? Is the market feeling fear, or is the market feeling greedy? Okay, so market sentiment is basically the overall the overall market is a combination of all the views, ideas, and opinions of all the participants in the market. Okay, now I know it says that, right, it's a combination of all the views and ideas and opinions, right, of all the participants in the market. But who are the major participants in the foreign exchange market? Who? Anyone want to take a guess? Right? Who are the major participants, right, in the foreign exchange market? Let's go, guys. Try. Who? Okay, someone said Federal Reserve, right? So who are the major participants in the foreign exchange market? Okay, very good. Awesome. You guys are paying attention yesterday. Okay, so now the Federal Reserve, are they a market participant? No, because they don't exchange money, right? They don't exchange money. Now, who are the ones who are constantly exchanging money, right? Let's say, for example, right, on a retail level like us, let's say we want to go on a holiday, right? We exchange money through a money changer, right? We go up to the money changer and say, okay, I want to exchange 1,000 Singapore dollars for, let's say, for example, I want to change my 1,000 Singapore dollars to, let's say, USD, right? And of course, they will exchange it for you. But can a big company like Apple change their money through a money changer? Right? Let's say, for example, Apple says, okay, I want to change $20 million. Will the money changer be able to change it for them? No. Right? So that is where the banks come in, right? So the banks helps companies, right, to exchange the money, right? So basically they buy over the currency and then they give you another currency in return, right? So this is what we call a foreign exchange, right? Foreign exchange. So who are the biggest participants in the foreign exchange market, right? It's the banks, right? It's the banks, right? No matter which bank, right? I think it's all the major banks combined, right? So even if it's a small bank, let's say, for example, who is the smallest bank in Singapore? I don't know. Probably DBS, POSB. Don't tell them and say that. Probably because they're a local bank, right? So banks like Citibank, HSBC, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, right? Those are what we call an international bank, right? They have international presence. Okay, so those are bigger banks. Okay, so banks are the majority. Banks participate, right? How should I put it in a sentence? Okay, so banks are basically the biggest players, right, in the market. Okay, banks, right? Not Federal Reserve. Now, what does the Federal Reserve do? The Federal Reserve, they actually set monetary policies, right? So let's say, for example, they want to raise interest rates, they raise interest rates. And what else? What else is the Federal Reserve or central banks? What else is the central banks responsible for other than raising interest rates? Anyone want to take a guess? What else are central banks responsible for other than to raise interest rates? Print money. Yes, not wrong. So the Federal Reserve, they also print money. Okay, they're in charge of the circulation of their local currency. Okay, so who is in charge of the circulation of the local currency in Singapore? Right, MAS, right, Monetary Authority of Singapore. Right, in the US, it's the Federal Reserve. Okay, so the another thing that the Federal Reserve is in charge for is, have anyone heard about the reserve, right? A country's reserve. Yeah. So the federal, a central bank, right? A local central bank, like say for example, right, Federal Reserve, or let's say for example, a Bank of England. Sorry, Bank of England, Bank of Japan, for example, they are in charge of the country's reserve as well. Okay. Now, the another thing that central banks are responsible for is the gold reserve, right? Gold reserve. I believe every country that they have a gold reserve, right? Singapore also have a gold reserve. Recently, it just came on the news, right? So a reporter just went to the gold vault, right? And then of course there's like shelf and so many tons of gold. Okay, so this is what the Federal Reserve are in charge of, right? Okay, let's get back to market sentiment, right? So market sentiment is basically a combined feeling, right? Sorry, the combined feeling is basically what we call the market sentiment, right? Of course, the dominating emotions or idea determines the market direction. Basically, who has the most money? The one who has the most money, right, controls the market sentiment, right? And usually it's the banks lah, right? So every market top or bottom is accompanied by a sentiment extreme. Okay, now can you guys give me an example of a sentiment extreme? Can you guys give me an example of sentiment extreme? Like when was the last time a sentiment extreme happened? When was the last time a sentiment extreme happened? All right, you're not wrong, right? Amirul, right? Regulate policy as well, monetary policies, right? That's fall under the chair of the the chair of the Federal Reserve, right, and the central banks. Okay, so when was the last time that we have a sentiment extreme? Very good, very good. So number one is the COVID. Then the other sentiment extreme was the war, right? Ukraine and Russia war. So these two happened really recently, right? COVID and the war, right? And it caused a sentiment extreme. Now, what is sentiment extreme? Sentiment extreme is basically there's two things, right? There's two sentiment. Now, one is the fear sentiment, and another one is the greed sentiment. Now, during COVID-19, do you think it's a fear or greed sentiment? COVID-19. COVID-19, is it fear sentiment or greed sentiment? That's right. Awesome. Okay, so sentiment extreme, right? So sorry, COVID-19 is a fear sentiment, is an extreme fear sentiment. Okay, same thing, right? The Russia and Ukraine war is also what we call a fear sentiment. Okay. Bitcoin top, no. Bitcoin top is not a fear sentiment. It's not a sentiment extreme. Okay, so Bitcoin, now when we talk about cryptocurrencies, we are talking about alternate assets, right? Alternative assets. Now, alternative assets are assets like, okay, so alternative assets are basically, I would say exotic assets, right? Let's say wine, for example, wine, painting, car, home. These are what you consider alternative assets. Okay, some basically assets that is not money, not cash, and not gold. It's what we call an alternative asset. Okay. All right. So not every sentiment extreme, right, is, sorry, however, not every sentiment extreme results in a market top or bottom. Okay. Now, if you're to compare COVID-19, just I'll give you guys two examples, right? I give you guys COVID and I give you guys the Ukraine-Russia war. Okay, so COVID-19, right? There is an extreme top or bottom, but during the Russia and Ukraine war, right? The market didn't really go like made a huge top or bottom. Okay, so when I say market, we're talking about the market as a whole, right? It's in like global stocks, US stocks and stuff like this. It didn't go crashing down, right? Because I mean, it's not really affecting everyone on a global scale compared to COVID-19, right? Especially when we have such a major event in COVID-19, right? Something happened to then after that, maybe a few years later, 3 years later, or something like that, right? And then the Russia and Ukraine war happened, right? The market is kind of like immune. They're like, hey, you know, I mean, I've just gone through hell, right? And then right now it's just two countries rather than the whole world. I think the market was just thinking like, okay, maybe, you know, it's not that serious. But that's what the market thinks. I think it's really serious because people are dying and people are killing each other for like, I don't know what reason. But anyway, that's another story too. But all right, so how fundamentals affects investors' risk sentiment? Right now, as you guys know, right, we have the fear, we have the greed, right? So how does fundamentals affect, right, investors' risk sentiment, right? High employment. Now, I want to give you guys a kind of like a quiz, okay? High employment. High employment. Is it a fear or greed sentiment? High employment. High employment, is it fear or greed? High employment, is it a fear or greed sentiment? Greed. Okay, awesome. So high employment is a greed sentiment, right? High exports is also a greed sentiment. Healthy inflation is a healthy inflation is also a greed sentiment, right? High interest rates, right? High interest rates, is it a fear or greed sentiment? The last one is a trick. High inflation. What do you think? What do you guys think? High inflation, is it a fear or a greed sentiment? High, sorry, not high inflation, high interest rates. High interest rates. High interest rates. High interest rates is what we call is more towards the fear sentiment, right? Fear sentiment, because when hold on, let me just think about it. Yes, sorry. High interest rates. High interest rates is a great sentiment, right? Because inflation, right? Inflation is a good thing. Inflation means that the country is growing, right? And of course, they raise the interest rates higher to slow down the economy. So when a government needs to slow down the economy, it means that the economy is doing so well that they have to slow it down, right? It cannot let the economy grow so fast. So it's a great sentiment. Okay, understand? Right? Everyone cool? Cool. Awesome. I like this bunch today. I mean, I like the orders today. Everyone is so engaging. You know, makes me really happy. I might go over the moon today. Oh, okay. Talking about moon, if you guys saw the news recently, I think it was last night, right? I think India they actually managed to launch they managed to launch a rocket or something like that to the moon, right? It's never been done before, and I think just 1 week ago, Russia tried but failed, and of course, India actually did it. So wow, awesome. It just proved. It just proved that, you know, the technology in India, right, is ever so developing, right? And of course, I see India as one of the developing economies. Okay, so it's really awesome. Okay. So risk-on currencies. What are risk-on currencies? Now, risk-on currencies are what we call or what we call greed currencies, or some even call it high-yield currencies. Okay. So Australia mines and export gold. So Australia mines and export gold. Canada is a top exporter for exporter of oil for the US, right? And of course, New Zealand exports agriculture, right? So AUD. Now, when we talk about risk-on currencies, right? We basically associate them with high yield assets as well, right? So we pair them. Let me try to find my words. High risk-on currencies are basically commodity currencies. Okay, what we call is commodity currencies. Now, what are commodity currencies? Now, commodity currencies are currencies which correlates with commodities. And why does certain currency correlates with certain commodity, right? Let's say, for example, Australia mines and export gold, and of course, Canada is the top exporter of oil, right, to the United States, and of course, New Zealand exports a lot of agriculture, right? Now, again, some examples of agriculture: it can be coffee bean, it can be cattle, it can be pork, it can be beef, it can be anything that's agriculture. So these are some examples of agriculture. Okay, so and that's why they are what we call commodity currencies, and of course what we call a risk-on currency. Okay, now what about risk-off currency? Right, what about risk-off currency? Now, risk-off currencies are basically currencies which are kind of stronger, and people tends to rely on. People tends to buy this currency, right, in terms of fear, right? Risk-off currency, right? So in times of fear, right, people would buy this currency, right? It's what we call a low-yield currency as well. Okay, so the Switzerland franc, right, CHF, the JPY, and the USD, right, are what we call risk-off currencies. Why? Right? Because Switzerland has a good banking system, right? If you go to Switzerland, there's a lot of private banks there. It's kind of like a safe haven for the rich, right? Don't tell people I said that. But yes, it is, right? Because there are a lot of private banks, and of course, 25% of the Switzerland franc is actually backed by gold. Okay, so for every $10, there's $2.50 worth of gold, right, in the Switzerland gold reserve, right? How cool is that? Okay, and then Japanese yen. Now, the Japanese yen is a risk-off currency, or what we call a fear currency, or what we call a low yield currency, right? Because it has very, very stable interest rates. So throughout the years, there's the Bank of Japan has maintained its stable its interest rates at, if I'm not wrong, is at 0.1%, right? And they don't fluctuate it around, and that makes the Japanese yen a stable currency. Okay, and of course we have the United States dollar. Now, USD is a reserve currency. It's a global reserve currency, right? Meaning to say that there are countries who are using the US dollar, right, as a mode of payment, right? Especially currencies with hyperinflation. Now, what do I mean by hyperinflation? Okay, hyperinflation meaning to say that, right, the currency gone out of control, right? That is out of control. Like, let's say, for example, Indonesia, right? I think Indonesia, for every $10 is about 100,000 Indonesian rupiah, right? Because I just came back from Bali, so I'm quite familiar with the exchange rate. So every 10 Singapore dollars is about 100,000 rupiah. Every $1 million is about every 1 million Indonesian rupiah is about 100 Singapore dollars, right? So these are what we call countries with hyperinflation, right? You basically can see so many zeros, right? So many zeros like at the back, right? And of course, there are certain countries with hyperinflation as well, such as Lebanon, Venezuela, some countries in the South Africa as well, right? South African rand, right? They also experience hyperinflation. Okay, So what happens when a country suffers from hyperinflation, right? And what are the costs? Now the cost is because the government didn't control the inflation well enough, right? And of course that is why it's so important to control the growth, right? We want ultimately, right? A government wants the growth to be really, really stable, right? We don't want it to grow too fast, and then of course we risk hyperinflation. We don't want it to grow too slow, then of course the economy is not too good, right? So 2%, I would say 2% is a healthy range, right, for inflation. Sorry, for the country's growth, and that is why, yeah, 2%, yeah, 2% is fine, right? So yeah, now you know. Okay, now let's look at sentiment analysis, ladies and gentlemen. Listen up. All right, so risk on sentiment, right? We have risk on sentiment, meaning to say that it is a greedy outlook. Okay, so you sell safe currency and you buy risk currency. Okay, greedy outlook, risk on sentiment means you want to put on risk, right? Your risk on, switch on. You switch on your risk mode, right? So you want to sell safe currencies, you want to exchange your safe currency, and you want to buy risky currencies. All right, so risk off sentiment, vice versa, right? It's a fearful outlook. So basically, risk off means you switch your risk off, right? So fearful outlook meaning to say that you buy safe currency and then you sell risk currency, right? Because you want to sell the risk, so you want to sell your risk currency, and of course you want to buy some safer currencies, right? Like the US dollar, like the Japanese yen, like the Switzerland franc. Okay, so risk on sentiment lasts longer but slower, right? And risk off sentiment lasts shorter but faster. So there is a saying that the market takes the elevator down but takes the stairs up. Now, why is that so? Why is that so? Now, it is because, right? When as us, because the market sentiment is ultimately emotions, right? How people are feeling, right? And ultimately, we are all humans and we have emotions. Okay, so what does it mean by risk on sentiment? It lasts longer but slower. Now, anybody experienced gambling before? I think most probably people experience gambling before. So, what happens during greed is that you would maybe you bet $2, and then slowly you start to bet $4, and suddenly you start to bet $10, and then your greed slowly builds up, right? But however, if I tell you, okay, I'm going. If I tell you, okay, the casino is playing cheat, right? For example, the casino is playing cheat, and you should not gamble because you will surely lose. What will happen? Right? You will quickly take all your money and get out of the casino, right? Because people are fearful, right? People are fearful, right? They just want to take out their money and put it into somewhere else, right? Rather than in a risky environment. So that is why the saying, right? The market takes the elevator down, but takes the stairs up. So the fear sentiment is really, really fast, right? So it lasts shorter but faster. And of course, the greed sentiment, the greed sentiment, it takes time to kind of build up that greed. Okay. All right. Awesome. All right. So that is the end of the slides, right? So now let's kind of look. I know. So let's kind of look at how the markets are treating our trades. Awesome. Yeah. So AUD, CAD is currently in profit. GP, AUD is also in profit. Just let them be in profit, I guess. Yeah, just let them be in profit. We just watch these two run. Okay. I'm also really quite happy for you guys, right? I mean, thank you for following my trade and yeah. I mean, when you make money, I make money. Everyone is happy, right? But of course, sometimes we do lose. But just make sure. But of course, now my training, how I ensure that I'm consistently profitable is that my winners, right, are so huge and my losers are ever so small. Okay, so and this is yeah. So let's kind of go through the charts. Oh, okay, hold on. Before that, guys, before that, oops. Hold on. Let me just. Okay, never mind. Let me just readjust this. And let me just readjust this. Give me 1 second. I think this would be a really nice take profit level. So I'm just going to leave it there. Okay, so AUDCAD, I think this would be a really nice take profit level at a 1 to 12 risk reward ratio. So I'm just going to let it play out. Anyway, all right, our trade, right, is protected, right, with a stop loss at break even. Okay, so just going to leave it there. And of course, GPAUD. All right, so let's kind of look at what the market is telling us. But 1 second, if I can just. Okay, never mind. Okay, let's go back to this and kind of look at the numbers. Okay, so trade durable, yeah. So new orders placed with manufacturers, right, for delivery on hard goods in the future, excluding orders for defense equipment, right? Yeah, so excluding. Okay, so these are the new orders placed for manufacturers. So the numbers, here are the numbers. What is this? Jackson Hole. Okay, so I think every day I'm learning something new. Right, so let's go ahead and Google this. Okay, what is this? What is the purpose of Jackson Hole meeting? In short, right, Jackson Hole Fed meeting aims to provide key insights to the economic challenges faced by the nation and how the Federal Reserve can address them. Okay, cool, interesting. And I think Jackson Hole is a guy, I think. Yeah, Jackson Hole is a guy, basically. He's someone. All right. Interesting. I didn't know this before. So perpetual learning. All right. So but let's kind of look at the numbers. Right. Let's kind of look at the numbers. Because I'm quite interested in the numbers. Okay, so durable goods excluding defense is at the minus. Yeah, it's at a minus 0.4%. So that's not good. Okay, because consensus is at positive 0.6%. So there is quite a huge discrepancy there. And of course, previously was at a positive 5.9. So that's a really, really huge discrepancy. Okay. Yeah. Ouch. Okay. And then we have durable goods, right? Excluding transport, right? So consensus is at 0.2%. So not really not that far off, right? 0.2 versus 0.5%. And of course, durable goods, right? Orders, right? Month on month, right? So we have 4.4%. Consensus is at -4, right? And it's not so far away from the consensus, right? So -4 versus minus 5.2%. So this is not really that far. Let's look at initial jobless claims. Okay, some good numbers, I would say. Yeah, better than expected. So lesser people are claiming the jobless benefit. Alan, hold on. GPAUD, what SL to set? Okay, just give me 1 second and I will come back to it. All right. And then of course, jobless claims 4 weeks average. Okay, so there are more jobless claims at the 4 weeks average. However, the numbers is not too much, just about 4K difference. So it doesn't really affect that much. And then of course, yeah, so I think overall the job market is quite healthy. Right, now let's go to TradingView. Now the GPAUD, right? What I want you to do is to set your stop loss at break even. right? So currently, GBAUD is floating at about 1 to 2 risk reward ratio. So go ahead and set your stop loss at break even. Now, when I say stop loss at break even, right, what I mean to say that is to set your stop loss at your entry, right? So set your stop loss at 1.96200, right? For those of you who are in the GBAUD trade. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Alan, clear? Awesome. Okay, awesome. Now let's kind of look at the other charts that we are kind of interested in as well, and see if we can find even more opportunities. All right, how interesting is that? Okay, AUDCHF currently doing its thing. I have this key level here of interest, and of course I have an alert set over here. If price reaches this level, then of course I'll be notified. All right, and of course we have GBP, AUDJPY. And of course, we have the AUD NZD, nothing much going on here. AUD USD as well. Nothing much going on in AUD USD as well. It hit my stop loss on AUD, AUD USD, right? It was a pending position. Yeah, it was a pending position, so it hit my stop loss on the AUD USD. So I don't think I will be looking for trades anymore on the AUD USD. Unless price comes back up to this level, right? Then of course I'll be interested to take shorts on GP. On the AUD USD. Okay, so if price comes back up to this level, I'll be interested to take shorts. Okay. Yeah, but I think that will be quite a long time away, so I'm just going to put this as a close watch list. CAD-CHF. Yeah, CAD-CHF, I don't really want to trade, right? Because look at this, right? It's consolidating, right? Consolidating. So every consolidation, right, there is an impulse. And then of course, right now it's just consolidating. And to be honest, right, you wouldn't know where it's going to impulse, right? But I think highly that the next impulsive move is towards the downside. But I mean, nothing is certain. Yeah, nothing is certain. So let's see CAD-CHF. Let's kind of see CAD-CHF and let's see if okay, I think if I want to take a trade, no, I'm just gonna skip the CAD-CHF. It's just so messy. All right, and of course we have CAD-JPY. There's a big yellow bright notes here that says no shorts. So let's not look at it. And then we have CHF-JPY. Now see if CHF-JPY, I do have an alert set over here. So if price comes back down to this level, right, it will basically tell me, hey, you might want to take a buy, right? So just alert set, not a pending order. But of course, if you want to set an alert too, you can also do that as well. Euro AUD, just currently seeing if price comes down lower, right? Euro CAD, just observing and monitoring this price action here, right? Guys, remember something? I think a few days ago, right? I asked you guys what is this candlestick pattern, right? And then everyone tell me tweezer top, and then I told you guys that it might be a engulfing candle, and sure enough, it is an engulfing candle. So it rejected and went all the way down. And currently it's continuing to make its price is currently making its way towards the bearish side, right? So really awesome. Okay, and then we have a Euro CHF. Now Euro CHF, let's see Euro CHF. Then of course we have Euro GBP. Well, Euro GBP. Now I'll just skip it. Euro JPY, Euro NZD. Yeah. Euro USD. I think the USD is kind of weak right now. Yeah, the USD is USD is kind of strong right now. Right? USD is kind of strong right now. So AUD USD is going down. Euro USD is going down as well. But yeah, let's see. Of course, we have a GBAUD, which is the trade that we are in. PoundsCAD, wow, PoundsCAD is also melting. So really awesome. PoundsCAD is melting. GBPAUD, would it affect our other trades? I don't know. But okay, so GBP for PoundsCAD, right? For PoundsCAD, what I want to do is I want to kind of closely monitor this price action. So if it comes back down and test this uptrend line, right, then of course I will be interested to take buy positions, right, on GBPCAD. Okay. And then we have GBPCHF. Nothing much going on GBPCHF. GBPJPY. It's still kind of indecisive, right? Whether it's going to go up or down, right? But yeah, because I mean, if you look at the historical price action, right, GBPJPY has been very, very bullish. Okay, so I'm just gonna let it play out, and if it reaches this level, then of course I'll be interested to take buys. Okay. And then we have GBPNZD, nothing much going on here as well. GBP I think, yeah, as I said, right, the US dollar is strengthening right now, right? So then of course we have the New Zealand, Kiwi CAD, right? New Zealand is the name for New Zealand dollar, right, is Kiwi, right? So we call it Kiwi CAD. Yeah, Kiwi CAD. And then we have NZD-CHF. We're just waiting for to see if price goes up here, and then of course I have an alert set as well. NZD-USD, again, it's a USD pair. Okay, but I think one thing, guys, one thing about the US dollar, right, is that I think there is the light at the end of the tunnel, right? So USD CAD, right, I would want for price to reach this level here, right? And thank God that, I mean, I'm not thank God, I mean, it just so happened, right, that the US dollar, right, is strengthening, right? And then of course, it's currently pushing its way up, right? So hopefully it makes higher highs. And then of course, once it reaches this level, then of course I'll be interested to take shorts, right? I'll be selling the USD CAD, right? Because I mean, we have been in a consolidation market, kind of, sort of, right? So I would want to, I'll be very, very interested to take shorts at this level, okay? And then of course we have the USD CHF as well, which if price comes up to this level, I'll be very interested to take shorts as well. So yeah, that's good. That's good. And of course we have the USD GBP. Now, if you guys notice, right, I am kind of not kind of, I am ignoring the JPY pairs for now, because I think they have been bullish for so long, right? So unless they reach my key level of interest, right, then of course I'll be looking to take shots. Other than that, it's just, I'm just gonna let it do its thing to continue going up, right? To continue its upward movement. Okay. Questions? Questions? I'll leave 1 minute for questions. Or if you guys want me to review any chart, right, now is your time. Questions, questions, questions. Okay. GBP, sorry, GBP-USD TP, GBP-USD TP, GBP-USD TP. Sell or buy? Sell or buy? GBP-USD, I don't have a trade on GBP-USD. Sell. Where do you sell it? What's the price that you sell it? What is the price you sell it? Okay, let's mark out. 229,511. Okay, you sell it over here. Okay. Okay, so it's a swing trade. 1.29511. Okay. So if you're selling here, you should be in deep profits by now. So I would say, hold on, let me check. Yeah, I would say I think you can TP now, dude. Like, will it go any lower? All right, so okay, look, we are in an uptrend. We are in an uptrend, right? We are in an uptrend. So, I mean, if you have a sell over here, and then look, we have, so if you go on the daily time frame, right, we can see that price is consolidating at this level, right? Price is consolidating at this level. So, I mean, if you want, I mean, remember what I say about consolidation, right? So for every consolidation, there is an impulse, and we are in an uptrend, right? So if right now we are consolidation, we're in a consolidating market, right? Now there is an impulse. Which direction do you think the price might impulse? Which direction have a greater probability that the price will impulse? Is it impulse up or is it impulse down? Right, definitely it's impulse towards the upside because we are in an uptrend. Okay, so I would say, yeah, just go ahead, take profit now. Right, I think this level is a good level. Right, the fact that price what comes to this level, I think it's awesome. Yeah, so sometimes you have to manage your greed, right? Your fear and greed, right? And then of course, done. Congratulations, awesome. All right, take profit. Yeah, okay, so you closed it already. Awesome. Right, so ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, this is all the time that I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed this evening session of the webinar. I hope to see you guys tomorrow. No, no, shit. So tomorrow there's no, so it's only Monday. Sorry, it's only Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So I hope to see you guys next week. Once again, guys, thank you for joining. And Ping Shen, give me 5 minutes. Let me take a break, get a sip of water, go to the toilet, and after that, I'll have a Zoom session. I'll have a Google Meet session with you guys. So as you guys know, currently I'm running a 2-year transformation program. So if you guys are interested, just drop me a message and ask me, hey, what is it about? Okay, so once again, guys, thank you for joining, and I hope you guys have a good evening and good night.